How is it going, PMP? My name is Noah, YouTube name NoJNP, and I have not said that for a very long time. If you guys don't know who I am, I took a 2-month hiatus from Pokemon battling, but I'm back here, bringing you a really cool OU battle against Adz919 from the Smogon Wi-Fi Battle Finder. He is using a Sun team, which causes me the most trouble out of any weather in this tier. I'm using an OU team, which I've had a lot of success with, but it does not have a weather. It also brings another challenge because I don't decide which weather is going to be put up for the whole game. Anyway, I have a proposition for you before we start this battle. If you guys go to my link, which is in the description, and give me a subscribe, I will promise that there will be a PokeMoshPit tournament within your region in the next 48 hours. Yes, next 48 hours. NoJNP 2016 for president. Please vote for me, and let's get into this battle. So I'm going to be leading off with my Terrakion lead. It actually has the Focus Sash. It also has Stealth Rocks and Taunt, and 2 attacking moves being the Stone Edge and the Close Combat. He's going to lead off with this Rotom. I don't care if he's going to break my Sash, but this does tell me, because he outspeeds me, that he is the Choice Scarf variant. So he's going to go into his Gliscor right here. I am going to get up my Rocks. I hope to get up my Rocks with him, and then my Ferrothorn's Spikes in the future, because I see that this guy has no Rapid Spinners. After he gets the Poison Heal, I'm going to go for the Taunt, thinking he might want to go for his own Rocks, and then therefore I would prevent it. Instead, he's going to go for the Ice Fang. He went for the Ice Fang because he thought I would bring in my Thundurus, predicting him to go for the Earthquake. That's not the case. This turn, I am going to switch into my Ferrothorn, knowing that if he has the Taunt, he cannot go for it because I already taunted him. This Earthquake really isn't going to do too much to me and gives me an opportunity to get at my first layer of spikes right here. I kind of wanted to predict him to go into this Ninetales or really whatever Pokemon and go for the Thunder Wave instead, but I figured because I know he would switch into a lot of Pokemon and just shuffle around his Pokemon a lot this battle, I thought the entry hazards would be a really cool thing. So at this point, I'm going to switch into my Heatran because if this Ninetales doesn't have the HP ground, my Heatran is a perfect check to a Ninetales. So he's going to go for the Flamethrower, which only boosts my Flash Fire ability. Now I'm able to go for the Fire Blast, which is stab boosted by the Flash Fire, and it is in the sun, so I'm going to be wrecking some faces right here. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss this Fire Blast on this Dragonite originally. Now I see he has the leftovers. I thought if he wanted to go for the Earthquake, it probably won't be able to take me out. I am carrying the Shucca Berry, so I'm just going to go for another Fire Blast. As you see, it looked to be a 2-hit KO from the range that he was previously at, which means if I did hit both my Fire Blasts, it would have been able to take him out. Instead, he's going to go for the Thunder Wave right here, which tells me he is the Para Shuffler set. So he's going to go for the Roost, trying to get himself back up to multi-scale eventually. If he doesn't get it this turn, he's probably going to bank on the fact that I'm going to get paralyzed one turn, such as now, or miss my Fire Blast. After the leftovers, he is able to get up to full health. Now, I know he's going to go for the Dragon Tail despite not having any Stealth Rocks up, but I do want to break his multi-scale to get some initiative going for whatever Pokemon he's going to Dragon Tail me into. Turns out, after doing a little bit of damage to my Heatran, he's going to bring me into my Terrakion right here. I have a chance with my Terrakion to go for the Stone Edge to get some super effective damage, but at the same time, I know if he wants to cripple a Pokemon, he would have to do it with a non-attacking move. So I'm going to go for the Taunt, predicting him to stay in. Instead, he's going to go into his Gliscor, which is really also very good for me because this gives me an opportunity to go right back into my Ferrothorn and set up some entry hazards. Now, this is a pretty obvious play going right back into my Ferrothorn. I'm pretty sure he's going to double switch, get some initiative going, go right into his either Ninetales or Infernape. I don't really care at this point. As you see, his Infernape is going to take a good amount of damage from these entry hazards, as well as I want to predict him to over-predict. Obviously, he's not going to go for the Fire type move because what Ferrothorn would stay in on a Infernape, mine would. Unfortunately, if this was a Life Orb set, I would have been able to take that close combat. Turns out, because he isn't Life Orb, you don't see that damage. He's going to be Choice Banded, so I know he's going to be locked into that move. So I want to bring in my Thundurus right here. He's going to switch out knowing that I can outspeed him and probably take him out because he has the -1 due to the close combat and special defense. So I'm going to go for the Focus Blast this turn, and it's going to do a very good amount of damage to this Rotom right here. Now, I was predicting him to perhaps think I was going to go for the electric type move like the Volt Switch and his Gliscor to be immune by it. Maybe I was going to go for the HB Ice, predicting his Gliscor to come in, and that's probably why he brought in his Rotom, because he would be able to resist that hit. Turns out it's not going to work out for him. He's going to bring in this Dragonite, which can resist my Focus Blast. So I'm going to switch out and go into my Starmie for 2 reasons. One, it would outspeed without getting paralyzed, and therefore with my Ice Beam, which is Expert Belt boosted. I really like this Starmie set. Expert Belt, 3 attacks and Rapid Spin. it would be able to do a really good amount of health, or rather damage to him. And if he wanted to go for the Thunder Wave and eventually Dragon Tail me out, it would... I really would just not have the Paralyze when I come back because of my natural cure ability. So that pretty much happens right there. He might want to go for the Roost this turn, getting himself back up to multi-scale range. But like the same thing I did with my Heatran, I do want to attack him before he switches out, just to make sure his multi-scale is broken. Unfortunately, I miss my Ice Beam again, rather, I get paralyzed again the turn that he goes for the Roosts. And after my Ice Beam does around 60%, rather 40%, he's going to go for the Dragon Tail. It does a really good amount of damage, and thankfully Dragon Tails me into my Thundurus. Now this Thundurus is Choice Scarfed. I'm not sure if he knows that yet, but I know he's going to predict me to go for the HP Ice. That is definitely true. He really wants to save his Dragonite because it could be a bit of a nuisance. So I want to predict that. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch right here. I was thinking it should be able to take him out. I have a really good special attack stat, as you guys know from this Thundurus T, and that's Stabbed, and it does take out this Ninetales. Unfortunately, he is going to get Switch Advantage because he's going to see what Pokemon I want to bring in before he does. I want to go into my Starmie specifically knowing that he has to go into his Dragonite, or rather, sorry, not his Dragonite, he has to go into his Venusaur, or else I can either Ice Beam the remaining Pokemon such as his Gliscor or his Dragonite or the Infernape, which as you're going to see doesn't do too much. So once I baited that guy out, I'm going to bring in my Heatran, which is the perfect check to his what's it called, his Venusaur. I keep on forgetting that name, because unless the Venusaur doesn't have a ground type attack, he would not be able to do anything with both of his stabs. HP Fire wouldn't do anything to me, and if he even wanted to go for the Sleep Powder, which I don't know if he had, I have the Paralyze going, so he can't really do that to me. He's going to bring back in this Dragonite right here. I'm going to predict him to go for the Roost, not attack me, or going to go for that Paralyze right here. So after the Roost, I'm going to bring in my Starmie, which is going to outspeed him. Obviously, without the Multi-Scale, I will be able to take him out with an HP, not an HP Ice, just the regular Ice Beam. So I'm going to go for that right here. He is going to Death Fighter himself off, but before that happens, he's going to get a little bit more damage with the Extreme Speed. I'm going to take him out the Ice Beam, and now he only has 3 Pokemon left. 2 of them very weak to my... what's it called, my Starmie. I keep on forgetting Pokemon names. And then the other one is this guy who outspeeds me. So he's taking a lot of damage from these entry hazards. I'm going to switch out right here, as I thought it was going to be pretty... Actually, no, I'm not going to switch out. I was going to Death Fodder my Starmie originally, but that didn't happen because he's going to overpredict, thinking that I was going to go into another Pokemon. I think it was my Heatran, which would make sense because this Infernape would be able to easily take me out. He's going to go for the U-turn right here. I predicted that U-turn because even if he was Choice Scarfed and not Choice Banded, which I thought he was before, once he went for the U-turn, he will not be able to survive another round of entry hazards when he comes back in. So again, it's his Gliscor versus my Terrakion. I'm fine with him taking me out with the Earthquake, because then I can bring right back in my Starmie, and then I can just go for an attack to kill one of his 3 remaining Pokemon. I did go for the Taunt before he took me out with the EQ, just to make sure he doesn't go for the Roost or the Protect or whatever possible non-attacking move he had. So I'm going to go right back into my Starmie, which is great because I can just shuffle around my Pokemon. There's no entry hazards up on my side of the field, so I'm really free to do all that. Unfortunately, he isn't, because as you see, his Infernape is just going to die to all these entry hazards. Ice Beam doesn't hit anyone. He's going to bring in this Venusaur right now, and as you see, he's taking a lot of damage from these entry hazards as well. He could outspeed me at this point, and I kind of want to save my Starmie because it could easily, as well as my Thundurus with the Ice-type move, take out his Gliscor. So I'm going to bring in my Heatran right here, and it's going to take a very minimal damage from that from the Energy Ball. He has only 2 Pokemon left, so he's going right in between his Gliscor and his Venusaur. I'm going to try to go for the Sun-boosted Fire Blast. Doesn't take him out because, of course, I get paralyzed. But I was thinking at this turn, even though I do have the Shuca Berry, I wanted to Death Fodder off my Heatran right here so I can go right back into my Starmie to finish off one of his 2 remaining Pokemon. Turns out I'm actually going to live the Shuca Berry reduced Earthquake, which is, it's also a stab, so I don't know why he didn't take me out. Anyway, I was paralyzed again. No worries, going to bring in my Starmie for like the trillionth time, and the Starmie will be able to Ice Beam one of his 2 remaining Pokemon. He is going to go for the Protect, showing me he has it, but there's really no purpose or reason why, because I'm going to be able to take him out right here with the Ice Beam. And once that happens, he's going to bring in his last Pokemon, which is his Venusaur. Now, the Venusaur is going to live with the entry hazards with the smallest amount of HP. I thought it was going to take him out for a really cool finish, but nonetheless, it doesn't. He's going to finish off my Starmie, and now I could bring in my Scizor, which is the only Pokemon I have not brought onto the battlefield yet. I'm just going to bring it in for one turn and take him out with a Bullet Punch. This is going to be a 2-0 victory for me. It was a really cool and fun battle. It was a lot of fun. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment down below on how I can improve my narrations, and all of that stuff. Some people say I sound like Joey. I don't think so, but what I do think is that you guys should all rate, comment, subscribe, and as always, take care.